CDI is the Childhood Development Initiative. We're based in Tallow West, and we're working in a community which has consistently demonstrated high levels of disadvantage. The research has shown us that children underachieve educationally, and yet they're overrepresented in the justice system, drug addiction services, unplanned pregnancies, and a whole raft of things that we don't want to see for our children in this community. Our job here in CDI is to support local services to deliver high quality programmes for children and families. CDI has a team of 8 amazing women who are providing supports to the 6 services that we're providing. Those 6 services were identified through a process of consultation with people living and working in the community.
I've been involved with CDI almost since the start. When the report that was produced called How Safe Are Our Children was eventually made public, and we looked at it from a local authority point of view, and we were really asking the question, what can the local authority do to assist in the problems that were identified in that report? And over a period of time, that morphed into the organisation which we now know as the Childhood Development Initiative.
CDI is all about bringing the community closer together and improving things for the children, and I'm a mother, I want the best for my kids.
The impact of the provision of early years services on a community can be massive. The experiences that they will have between the ages of 0 to 6 will impact on their readiness for school, will impact on their perception of themselves, will impact on their ability to socialise with other children. It's a massive opportunity for them to even just break down those little communication barriers and get the kids to start communicating with their peers and start sort of learning in a very much a play environment.
We're working with existing providers, so people who were already working in Tallow West with children and families, and that's been really important. They know the community, they know the families, they're trusted, and they have really strong working relationships.
CDI have impacted on the council's work locally in that they've complemented and supported what the council are trying to do in our local housing estates. They've organised some community initiatives, for example, a large volleyball tournament, and there was a football tournament also in West Talla, and that was a great opportunity to meet local residents, to make friends with them and to build relationships.
CDI identified that speech and language therapy was a need that many parents had for their children. Basically that means that you're working with the young children, helping to identify what kind of communication difficulty they may have and the degree of difficulty they may have, and also then trying to work out what we can do as speech and language therapists to help them. What we have in place with the CDI and An Cosán and the HSE is a partnership that allows for the employment of a therapist with one agency, the funding through another, and then the supervision and support by myself. And it's a new partnership that has come about as a result of CDI.
As principal of the school, my observations are a huge increase in individual self-confidence and happier coming into the building every day.
Our services are having a significant impact on children, on their parents, really importantly on the relationship that children and their parents have together, and also how people are able to avail of local services. We know that children are putting their hand up in class more readily, they're participating in their education, they're actively involved, they want to engage, and we also know that parents have a lot more confidence about coming to the school, about engaging with service providers, and about asking for help.
I've seen that the community are much more confident, and a lot of that has come from the work of CDI in relation to their education programmes and being more confident, to stand up for themselves and bring better more quality of life to the people both working and living in Tallow West. It means that people are more likely to report crime to us, and we can support them and make them feel safer and work towards better quality of life for all.
For Tallow West, a project like CDI has been a fantastic addition. Firstly, this was a real investment. There was an investment from the state and an investment from Atlantic Philanthropies. So here you had, for the first time, a unique project which is going to say, we've got funding now to go and do something very different. And that something will require putting in additional resources, will allow testing new models, will allow for some evidence-based initiatives. And at the end of that process, we'll know what works. And for me, this is a fantastic opportunity for Tallow.
2 years into delivery, we absolutely know in our hearts and souls that our programmes are having a positive impact on children and families. And that's as a direct result of the engagement that they've had, being treated respectfully, having confidence, and also knowing a bit about how the system works, understanding where you can go for help. We also know that we're shaping how organisations work together, and that's all positive, and it's all for the good of the children of Tallow West. What we're interested for the future is looking at how that learning and how those lessons can be shared to a wider community, to other areas of Ireland, particularly communities that are experiencing disadvantage.
I think my kids might do all right out of this area. It's not going to let them down.
Excited.